How's it going, guys? It's the Pixelated Pumpkin, and in today's video, I'll be doing a breakdown of all the new merchandise, features, and new products from the Spirit Halloween 2022 flagship location that just opened up. So in this video, I'm not going to be talking about the animatronics since I've already done that plenty, and this just reinforces my opinion on the props this year. Of all the photos and videos we've seen of the flagship store, they are not good. In fact, I think a lot of them are worse than I thought already, so that is just really disappointing in terms of the props this year. However, the theme is incredible, and there's so much stuff that we haven't seen from the theme yet that I'll be talking about here. Plus, there's a ton of new merchandise that Spirit Halloween is releasing, which I'll also be discussing and breaking down in this video, so get ready for it. So without any more hesitation, we'll jump into all the features of the theme and the new Spirit Halloween merchandise that's coming out for the 2022 season. So starting off with our front theme here, there is a lot that we haven't talked about quite yet. I'm going to skip over a majority of the outside stuff, but the walkthrough in there is actually filled with some really awesome stuff. So starting off with those gigantic red bubbling test tubes there, those are so cool. I love those a lot. And in the walkthrough here, there's actually two prompts, being Barry and young Crouchy, which I do think is cool actually how they have them in the little walkthrough area, which I think actually makes the walkthrough area in there a lot better, and especially with those big test tubes. Those are so cool. We'll get into the prices of all the in-store experience items in a second, but they are actually relatively cheap, those test tubes. I was expecting those to be probably maybe like $90, but they're only $40 for what you're getting there, which I think is a great value for those because of how gigantic they are. So I might be picking one of those up at the end of the season. Other than those test tubes, there is one other thing in this little walkthrough area that I think is incredible. So if you look up right in the center, you can see that Jack the Reaper right there. Now, I know this might look like it's going to give you a seizure on camera, but in real life, those spinning fan blades aren't there. Unfortunately, just because of the way those things work and making it look like it's a hologram, it does not look good when you're actually filming it. And I have yet to see them in person, so I'm still looking forward to seeing them in person. But that's just something only the human eye can see, unfortunately. But that is so cool. I'm going to give you a good glimpse of the full animation here from Halloween Haunt Guy, and then we'll get back to that. So, as you can see here, you get a great view here. I think that animation looks incredible, and it's going to be so cool because it's going to look 3D in person. It's going to look like it's kind of popping out at you. That's what the fan blade effect does, so I'm still looking really forward to seeing that. But I love how Jack the Reaper looks there. Just really incredible stuff. And this is $60, which I think is a bit expensive, but again, for what you're getting here, I think it's a great value. So this is something else I think I'm going to be picking up at the end of the season this year. I'm going to try to get there and get one of these on hold, hopefully. But I don't know. Still something I think is so awesome. The theme definitely is better than the props this year. That is for sure. So here is the last thing I want to talk about, the front theme here. So you can see at the top of the tower there's some pretty cool images up there, but that's not really what I want to talk about. Those blue plasma tubes look awesome, and for only $10 too, considering how huge they are, that is definitely something I want to buy at the end of the season for sure. I'm going to try to talk to my local Spirit Halloween manager to see if I could get a lot of that stuff secured, because I remember last year he was going to let me put my name down for some stuff, but I just never ended up doing it. But anyways, I'm going to really try to secure a lot of items this year for the theme. I'm really hoping I'm able to. But anyways, those are something that's also a great part of the theme. Just a great lighting effect. It looks so awesome. Now we worked our way to the back theme, and oh boy, there is a lot to go over here. So starting off with those two screens, the TV screens right up front, as they've been doing for the past few years now. But we have some really awesome animations on there this time, way better than last year's. So starting off with the left-hand one, it is just a skeleton messing around in a lab there, drinking some potions and getting electrocuted. I'm going to play you a little video of that. Credit to Halloween Haunter for taking this video. And then also to the right side, which is probably more exciting, we see Dr. Loom getting poisoned by his own serum and becoming the crazy scientist he is. So I think that is the cooler of the screens for sure, but both are awesome. They're both two different animations. Unlike last year, they just played the same ones, just mirrored. So I think it's really cool that we're getting new animations. And strange we have Dr. Loom in the screens, but not actually in the store. But I don't know. That just seems like a weird decision to me, because people might not even realize that that's an animatronic in there. So I don't know. But I still think it is really cool that we're seeing the actual Spirit Halloween characters being a part of the screens now. That is something I like a lot. Now, let's talk about the walkthrough. So finally, after 2 years without a walkthrough, we're finally getting another one, and this one is fantastic. So as you can see, we have more of these hologram projector screens here, which I think are cool. I'll go into greater detail in those later since they play some really awesome stuff. But as you can see, there's just so much going on in this one little walkthrough here. There's live wires hanging from the ceiling, you got those plasma tubes there, and apparently the floors rumble and vibrate as well, which I think is a really cool feature. So overall, that is a really cool walkthrough. One thing I just kind of wish there was a turn in there somewhere so you wouldn't just see the end. I feel like that's what made them pretty scary, for some people at least. That's what I really liked about the fish one, or the aquatic one from 2019, where the sharks and the other sea creatures, I think I really liked how there were turns and stuff in there, which basically made it look like a maze almost. And there was some sort of covering from each side. There was a little bit of like creepy cloth or something hanging down to block out some of the light in the walkthrough. But overall, I think this is a really, really cool walkthrough, and I'll get into the details of what's going on in the screens right now. So one of the screens in here will be playing the birth of a Nightcrawler, and I have to say this is so cool, seeing some props, getting some backstory here. So you can see this dude strapped in a chair, and then he becomes Nightcrawler, and we see him go crazy, and I just think it looks really cool. Especially the animation quality here, I think it looks great. I honestly enjoy the cartoony style they gave lots of the characters here, because it doesn't need to be brutally realistic to work, and I just really love how it looks. I'm going to be honest, the Jack the Reaper one's probably my favorite, and probably the only one I'll be buying, hopefully, but I still think this one is awesome. The next one, I couldn't really find a great video of it, but is the birth of young Crouchy, I guess. You just see big Crouchy laying on the table here, then he gets shocked, and then there's a little Crouchy running around. So that's pretty much it. But still, these are so awesome, and I love the animations they play on them. They're just so cool. So overall, I'm going to be looking forward to seeing these in person, since there won't be the spinning fans when you see it with your own eyes. But unfortunately, the camera just can't pick it up that great, which sucks. But still, I cannot wait to see what is actually happening on those screens there. Overall, that is pretty much it for the back theme and walkthrough. So now, let's talk about the brand new Spirit Halloween themed merchandise that they're selling this year, including toys, figures, and more. First of Spirit's new merchandise themed after their own characters this year are their brand new keychains, which I think are really cool. Credit to Psychotic, Circus of Savannah for this photo. I'll be crediting all the photos I use at the end of the video, and you could find most of the people's photos used in the description. But anyways, we have these brand new little keychain dudes. Now, I think these are pretty cool. They weren't exactly what I was expecting. Unfortunately, they put them in this cutesy art style, which really does not work for me, so I'm a little bit let down. But I still think it is cool that they're finally making merchandise of their own characters other than just the push dolls. So I'm looking forward to getting probably one of these at least, if they're not too expensive. But we have some photos of all of them here. As you can see, we have an Uncle Charlie one. This one was also from Psychotic, Circus of Savannah, and a few other characters here. You could get a good sense of their art style. Next, you could see all the props that will be featured in these little blind bags this year, which I think are actually, there's a pretty good variety of them. A lot of old props, a lot of new props. It's just good fan service here for the variety they chose, at least. It's not just all new props. I do like the selection, but the one thing I don't like is really the art style again, but I'll get into that in a second. And the two mystery figures are Uncle Charlie, as you already saw, and Nightmare Harvester, which I think is pretty cool. But here's the thing, the art style, again, just does not work for me. It's way too cutesy. I was expecting more, not realistic, but more, I guess, detailed to how the actual prop looks for the keychains here. Very similar to next product we'll be talking about. I was expecting them to be in that kind of art style, but no, they're in these typical kind of keychain art style that, like, just doesn't work for me, really. I'll probably be buying one at least, though. I don't know. Probably the coolest new item from Spirit Halloween this year that's a part of their official merch, I guess, is the Crouchy figurine. I think this thing is awesome. I love the art style he's in. There's tons of blood all over him, which is surprising because there's less blood on the actual prop, but still, I think it looks awesome, this little figurine. The guy who made this and designed it is also the same who made the Killer Clown statues from last year, so I think this guy is going to be making a lot more stuff, and I'm happy about that. He has a fantastic art style, and it looks like there are more on the way. I guess they're just testing the waters of how many people will probably end up buying these this year with this first Crouchy one. So I don't think we're going to be seeing any more of these this year, but probably next year we could expect up to, I'm guessing, probably 5 of these. I'm guessing if these sell well, they're going to do a ton of them next year of a whole bunch of different props. But there's a lot of crouchy-centric merchandise this year with the new plushie and the little Skelly Bones plushie. They're really starting to market their characters a lot more, which is cool. Fortunately, I couldn't find any photos of the plushies this year, so sorry about that. But trust me, they are just cute versions of the props, which I'm not a big fan of. I don't like the plushies. We already have the dolls, so I don't know why they couldn't just stick to that, but whatever. Anyways, that's going to do it, everybody. That is pretty much it for my breakdown of the Spirit Halloween 2022 flagship store. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be talking about the Spirit Halloween movie in a video probably tomorrow, so stick around for that. There's a lot more about the movie than there really is about the store, since I talked about so much about the store this year already, but I just wanted to share these few things with you guys. So, be sure to like and subscribe. As always, also check out my merch and my Instagram in the description below. And if you need to contact me for any reason at all, my email is down there. It is thepixelatedpumpkin31@gmail.com. And with all that, everybody, as always, this is the Pixelated Pumpkin, signing out.